Om Purna Pasyaduta Purna Purasad Unmadhyata Punamase Chikaya Tasyan Divya Samvasanto Mahitva Nakasya Prishte Samishamadema Nakasya Prishte Samishamadema. May we all find Madema bliss in the lap of the divine. My fellow souls, my sisters, brothers, children of one God, Namaste. Namaste. Today, as I always do, I'll try to leave you with a life-changing message. So I don't know how many of you saw my last video on forgiveness, but let's build on it from a spiritual perspective a little bit. So if you want peace in your life, there is something that we must do. The key to peace is forgiveness. I want all of you to think seriously about this. Forgiveness is not just a nice sounding word, that you use to impress other people. Forgiveness is not something you post on Facebook to get likes. No, forgiveness is this beautiful divine concept that when practiced shall bring you peace. This shloka from Bhagavad Gita. Mrityu sarva harachaham udbhavacha bhavishyatam kirti shri vakcha narinam smriti medha drishi kshama. God is responsible for everything. For death, for birth, for the origins of everything you see, or the things that has not yet been created. God is the motherly qualities. God is everything you know. He is intelligence. He is courage. God can also be forgiving, and He has given unto us this ability to forgive. Kshama. So even though we're taught to forgive, the idea of forgiveness sometimes is so lost. Don't you feel it is rarely practiced? Yet, if we want to find peace in our families, we have to begin with forgiveness. If you want peace in your life, it means that you have to look at your brothers, sisters, families, and friends and forgive them for any bad things you think they have done to you. And when you forgive, you can move on. The key to peace is forgiveness. This is the only way we can live a peaceful life. Being loving, being kind, being compassionate, being tolerant, being patient, and all of this. And yes, being forgiving. But you see, here's the thing. We have not been taught how to forgive. Instead, we're taught to remember the hurts and the pains, and we're taught that we must react to those pains and hurt those who hurt us. If I ask you, what's your favorite movie? Chances are you're going to tell me about some movie that's based on the premise of revenge. Somebody did something to somebody else, and the entire movie is based on that person getting revenge on someone else. I'll ask, how many of you at this moment in time do not speak to a neighbor, a friend, a co-worker, someone right here in Mandir, because you feel that somehow they've done you wrong, they've slighted you. Your ego is bruised. You believe in different politics maybe. And because of some of this, you do not speak to them anymore. But if you want peace in your life, if you want peace at work, if you want peace here in Mandir, if you want peace with your neighbors, you must be ready, willing, and able to forgive them for whatever you think they have done you wrong. This, as emotional beings, this is a fact of life. My fellow souls, this is also a universal principle. It applies in all places and at all times. If you look at the current wars being fought all over this world and the fighting that's happening, why is it? Because we are not willing to forgive. They have held on to histories of wrongdoing on either side, and the families and the kids have grew up wanting revenge. There's no forgiving. And because forgiveness does not come up in their heart, because they choose not to forgive, they hate, they dislike, they fight wars. The wars and innocent people suffer the most. From a realistic point of view, when we do not forgive, it's like driving forward while looking only in the rear view mirror. Think about that. You're looking at in the past and things that has been done to you, and you're not looking ahead, and no good will come of that. This is how we're taught to think, even by the leaders of today. They teach you how to hate and how to dislike and how to spread that hate. And I'll tell everyone with my pure mind that, look, if you see a black person and a brown person and a white person and this and that, you are a part of the problem. I see man, I see woman. I do not see color. I do not see that. I refuse to acknowledge that. But what do we see? We see one set of people enslaved, another set of people a long time ago. We must always fight and hate and dislike because of that. One country stole from another country hundreds of years ago, and we must hold on to that and not move forward. They owe us forever. The always shifting borders of countries, now somewhat settled, yet we hold on to that. We do not forgive. We're so focused on the past, we no longer see the road ahead. We choose to replay these hateful movies in our minds, our own history on our minds, and we react to that. And then what do? We keep having discussions with like-minded people so we can keep the juices of hate and dislike alive. Then we boldly go and we proclaim these differences on social media, and we claim that God is only on our side. And when someone steps in and disagrees, you lambaste them with insults. We continue to fatten our egos. And anyone who would listen with poisonous food of hate and dislike. My fellow souls, this forgiveness is a universal principle, and it starts with each one of us. If we can forgive others, we can find peace in our lives, and then that peace we can have influence the lives of others. Without forgiveness, there is no love. But without love, there is no forgiveness. See that? When we forgive, we are making a conscious effort to remove the not pure emotions and thoughts from our mind. Our minds become purer when we forgive. You know, you heard that love makes the world go around. You think carefully about it. You practice universal love, real love, selfless love. It is based on this idea of forgiveness. There's this bhajan, I'll take one verse. I think many of you know this bhajan and you can join with me. Itni shakti hame den data, मन का विश्वास कमजोर होना, हम चले नेके रास्ते पे हमसे भूल कर भी कोई भूल होना, इतनी शक्ति हमें देने दाता. Give me the strength, O Lord, so our faith does not waver, weaken, and break. And while we try to lead a righteous life, let us not accidentally forget or walk away from this righteous path. Help us, O God, so we can keep that faith. We can use your strength that you gave us to continue to follow along that path. दूर अज्ञान के हो अंधेरे, तू हमें ज्ञान की रोशनी दे, हर बुराई से बचते रहे हम, जितने भी दे भली जिंदगी दे, भय रहो ना किसी का किसी से, भावना मन में बदले के होना, हम चले नेके रास्ते पे हमसे भूल कर भी कोई भूल होना. How beautiful. We come, we sing bhajans like this. We do not make the meaning a part of our lives. Oh God, help us to dispel the ignorance of the darkness of ignorance from our lives. Save us from the misdeeds in our lives. Oh God, bring forgiveness into our hearts so there's no desire for revenge. So how can we change the world? And I'll put some of you, not individually, but I'll put you on the spot. I always say, and I repeat every time, Auntie Sham, if you want to change what happens in your life, you must change the things you do. And to change the things you do, you must change how you think. It all begins with thought. So how do we change the way we are now? Here's what I'm asking you to do. Seriously, please take me seriously. Think of the person you cannot stand to be around, or the person you do not want to speak to. Could be a friend, could be a family, could be a brother or sister, a neighbor, a co-worker. Can you see that person's face in your mind at this moment when you think of them? When you go home today, sometime today or sometime this week, I ask that you pick the phone up and give that person a call. And what would the call be like? If you want to, you don't have to apologize for anything. The phone call will be apology. But you call. You ask them how they've been. You tell them you've missed them being a part of your life. If you feel you need to apologize, do so. Tell them it's been a long time you did not speak and you're fortunate to have them in your life. If the discussions of past problems come up, say, the past is the past and I'm sorry. Let's move on to tomorrow. Life is short. We have no clue when this ride comes to an end. If the other person, whoever it is, they do not want to move on, that is okay. You have moved on. You have moved on, and that is what is important. You have done your part, and that is all you can do, what is within your control. You can only change what you have control over. You certainly do not have control over how someone else thinks. And I promise you, my fellow souls, if you were to do this, the feeling of forgiveness that will arise in your heart, The overwhelming feeling of goodness that will follow will be life-changing. It will indeed change how you think. And because you have changed how you think, your life will change. Yes, your life changes from the very act of forgiveness. And after doing this, my fellow souls, you will find peace. You will feel peace. Your stress will be less. Your heart will thank you. Your family will thank you. And from this act of forgiveness, you will grow into a complete personality based on forgiveness, which is a divine virtue. So all of you, I ask that you do this today. And as I conclude, I honestly pray that God bless you with the determination, the strength, the motivation, and the divine inspiration to forgive all that may have been done to you and you have done to others in your quest for peace, bliss, love, and unity. I thank all of you for being so kind and patient with me today. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate